When matching people with their dream home in the country,
dear me, it's absolutely lovely, in lovely surroundings.
we on Escape like to aim high.
To me, it feels like I'm in some sort of stately home or something. That's what it feels like.
We might throw in something different.
We've not been this neck of the woods at all, Steve.
Somewhere new, I love it.
But we do like something old.
My word, Steve, this has got some character, hasn't it?
The Lake District, part of the county of Cumbria, gained UNESCO World Heritage status in 2017 on account of the region's breathtakingly beautiful and inspiring canvas of mountains, rural landscapes and, of course, lakes.
Here in the UK, we have some amazing countryside, but when it comes to the Lake District, amazing would have to be in bold capitals and underlined. And I think the 40,000 people or so that live here, plus its 18 million visitors every year, would agree with me.
Cumbria's Lake District is England's largest national park and covers more than 900 square miles of glorious countryside.
The Lake District is such a quiet and clean, tidy part of the country. It can be so peaceful, and there's such a variety of activities to do. It's a beautiful place to live and a beautiful place to visit.
Of the 16 lakes found in the Lake District, only one is officially a lake by name. The others are known as meres or waters, alongside a number of tarns. Bassenthwaite Lake covers 2 square miles and attracts hundreds of migrating birds, as well as fish, including Atlantic salmon, which come here to spawn. The villages are a draw to the region too. Lovely Grassmere in the heart of the lakes was home to the poet William Wordsworth from 1799 when he lived in Dove Cottage. After his death in 1850, he was buried in St Oswald's Church.
The Lake District is a lovely, lovely place to be. You can get out in the fresh air, go up hills and into streams and things like that. You know, even in the rain, it's good.
For today's couple, the Lake District probably feels like home away from home. They've been here over 50 times. They obviously love being here so much, they want to stop visiting and move here forever.
Hi, I'm Ian.
And I'm Helen.
We currently live in Altrincham in Cheshire. Both Helen and I are approaching retirement age, and we want to move to the area of the Lake District for a completely different lifestyle where we can relax, be closer to nature and enjoy country walks.
Ian, a school site manager, an avid beekeeper, plus his wife Helen, a heart and lung transplant coordinator, have lived in their 4-bedroom detached 1930s house for nearly 20 years. And with their 21-year-old daughter Lauren now at uni, it's just them at home, with their 2 rescue cats.
Hiya.
You're late tonight. Have you had a busy day?
Yeah, just clinic running late again. Just stuck in clinic with the patient. Hi, it's Helen.
Helen's job is very rewarding and all-consuming, but after 32 years in the NHS, that's all about to change.
Well, I'm retiring in 9 weeks. Ian is sort of semi-retired, so now is the perfect time and it's easier for us to move wherever we want to go to.
We absolutely love the Lake District. We love the communities, we love the people, we love the quaint, historic little villages. It's a beautiful, beautiful area.
We're looking forward to growing vegetables in the garden. I love gardening. We also enjoy going out for pub meals and drinks, so walking or cycling to the nearest village and just being able to sit back and relax and enjoy the scenery.
We have spent so many times as a family with our daughter, and we keep coming back year on year, and now we feel it's the time to make the move to the Lake District.
Helen and Ian are cash buyers with a budget of £600,000 to buy a character house or barn conversion, preferably detached. They'd like 2 to 3 bedrooms, a garden with room for Ian's bees, and somewhere with a view would be great. Location-wise, they want to be near a village, in the vicinity of the market town of Keswick.
Do you know, I can't even imagine having a job like Helen's. The stress of it all, having people's lives in your hands. And the Lake District has always been a haven for them to get away from their stressful jobs. They really deserve this move.
Our Lake District house hunt is kicking off in a quiet spot just outside the village of Cumbrian, within the National Park, around half hour from Keswick. But before we head there, I'm catching up with Helen and Ian at beautiful Friars Crag, on the banks of Derwent Water. Ian, Helen, it's lovely to see you both, and what a fantastic place to meet.
It's absolutely a beautiful part of the world, and we love it.
This isn't on a whim, is it?
No, it's something that we've planned for such a long time. So, yeah, really excited.
What are you looking for in terms of the life that you want to live here?
It's going to be a completely different lifestyle change for us. It's very hectic at the moment, Steve, especially with Helen's career. We like ships passing in the night most of the time.
So it does take it out of you, really takes it out of you.
For me, that shows exactly why this move is so important for you two in your future. I cannot wait to get looking around and explore the Lake District with you both. How about we start with it now?
It sounds great to me, Steve.
Come on then, let's go. Our first property location can be found in the northern fells of the Lake District and offers solitude as well as space. A few minutes drive east is Cumbrian village. Sitting in the shadow of the Skiddaw mountain, the area is known by locals as the Back of Skiddaw, a lesser known spot in the lakes. Peace and quiet are assured. The village is named after the river that runs through it, called Beck, and has a village hall as well as an award-winning pub whose former name is linked to the house we're about to see. There's also a local shop, a hairdresser's and a handful of other amenities. And it's all surrounded by a spectacular countryside. 1.5 miles from the centre of the village, along the banks of a beck, which is a small river, we find the property in question.
So here we are then. Feast your eyes upon this.
My word. That is a lovely house.
OK. all of it?
All of it. From that end to that end. When you talk about long houses, this really is a long house.
It's one of the things we did want, a house with a bit of character.
And this looks idyllic.
It started off in the 1600s as a barn. After that, it turned into a restaurant. From there, it was a cafe. And finally, it's finished up as this beautiful home.
It's got the grounds, it's got the river, it's got the birds, it could have the bees. Dear me, it's absolutely lovely, in lovely surroundings.
I reckon we should head inside.
Let's go.
Follow me.
The original barn at one end of the property is said to be the birthplace of John Peel in the late 1700s. He was a famous local huntsman who was the subject of a well-known 19th century folk song called Do You Ken John Peel?
So in we come through the utility room and into a lovely kitchen dining area.
It's beautiful, beautiful room, beams on the ceiling, lovely stonework. Dear me, stunning.
It's lovely and warm, isn't it, in here? Obviously, really thick walls.
This open-plan kitchen diner includes a seating area, but there are far more places to kick back and relax in this home. Next to the kitchen is a large reception hall, currently in use as a snug and a study with access to the first floor. Then, beyond that, is a dedicated sitting room.
Another stunning room.
Yeah,
Absolutely
looking
stunning.
at the views outside of the window.
Dear me, what a lovely room this would be to sit in of an evening time, looking at the views outside.
Now, do me a favour and just make your way through that door at the end of the property. I'm excited to see what you think.
Okay.
The door leads to the stone barn, which has no end of potential. It could be incorporated into the existing living space, converted into a holiday let, or simply left as is for storage.
I could make some use out of this room. I could have a workshop in here. This could be my little hidey hole.
Or a cat den.
Or maybe a cat den.
Next stop is upstairs, where the spiral staircase, one of 2 stairways in the house, leads to a study on the landing and 3 bedrooms. There's a double with feature beams, the largest, which has built-in wardrobes and an ensuite. Then finally, another attractive double with an ensuite bathroom.
Ensuite in there.
Oh yeah, that's nice. That.
And watch that beam duck under the
Nice
beam.
little beam there for us. The room's lovely. Yeah, lovely beams, lovely character.
That's inside toured. And there's so much more to see outside, where the land extends to just under half an acre. A patio overlooks an extensive garden with the river running alongside it. Beyond the land are far-reaching views over fields. And just in time for us to reconvene outside, the heavens open, of course.
The garden is fantastic, and the garden is probably just the sort of thing that we're looking for.
What do you think it might be on the market for?
If I had to hazard a guess,
Which you do, I'm afraid.
then I'd say around the £500,000 mark.
OK, all right. What are you thinking, Ian?
I think Helen's been very optimistic there, but my estimation would be £525,000.
OK, well, it's actually on the market above that. It's £600,000.
Okay.
This 17th century property's guide price of £600,000 is right on budget. It comes with bags of character, a choice of living areas, a stone barn ripe for conversion, 3 bedrooms and a large garden. It's located in a rural setting close to a charming village.
I think the property looked absolutely stunning. The house from the outside looked magnificent. The surrounding gardens, the river running by it, it absolutely looked idyllic.
My first impressions from the outside was the garden's amazing. It was just what we're looking for, and the house seemed massive looking at it from the outside. My thoughts on the house one from the inside, the rooms do seem a little bit on the small side. It would be difficult to open it up because the walls are so thick. Maybe it's not quite what we're looking for on the inside of the property.
It's got to be said, most people visit the lakes for the stunning scenery and quaint villages. But there are also some great towns in the area for locals and visitors to drop in on. We've brought Helen and Ian to have a look around Cockermouth, a vibrant market town just outside the northwestern boundary of the national park. It has a great selection of independent shops and restaurants, many housed within fine Georgian buildings. One of the most striking is the townhouse where the celebrated romantic poet William Wordsworth was born in 1770. Today, the Grade 1 listed building is a museum dedicated to his life and work.
It's a really thriving little town. There's lots of coffee shops, restaurants, local pubs, lovely little artisan bakeries and things like that. I wouldn't live anywhere else now. It's just so nice.
If a change of scenery is called for, there's a good bus service from Cockermouth to destinations including Keswick, Penrith and Carlisle. For a spot of culture in town, Kirkgate Arts and Heritage Centre put on shows and films and also host community groups. It's housed in an old Victorian school building and is largely run by volunteers. Katie Gentry is the operations manager here. She started out as a volunteer 9 years ago. Helen and Ian have come to meet her and learn how they could get involved when they move to the area.
It's quite a busy, creative town, Cockermouth, and in terms of performance arts, I would say the Kirkgate Centre's the hub. We've got a youth theatre group, there's an amateur dramatics group, if that's the kind of thing you'd enjoy. There's also lots of other volunteering opportunities at the centre. Everything from projectionist for the films to selling drinks in the bar. And yeah, lots of behind-the-scenes volunteering as well, fundraising and that kind of thing.
That was going to be something that we were going to ask you about volunteering opportunities. So it sounds like there's lots of things to do, isn't there?
There is. It's a really busy town. There's lots of opportunity to get involved and get stuck in different ways.
That's the volunteering sorted. And to get the lowdown on the local outdoors life, they're meeting outdoor activities leader Chris Brown by one of the town's attractions, the remains of the ancient and protected Cockermouth Castle.
For me, Cockermouth and the Lake District is super special. Me and my dad, we run like an outdoor adventure business, so we do hiking, paddleboarding, canoeing, all that kind of stuff. And our main kind of thing is gill scrambling at the moment, and that's kind of our Lake District version of canyoning. So we get dressed up in wetsuits and slide down the river and do some jumps and slides and abseils and things down into a river in the mountain.
It sounds like something we'd like to try.
When you're in the mountains here, there's no signs, there's no mountain huts, there's kind of nothing once you leave the car park, so you can access that kind of wild feel pretty easily from your doorstep without too much of a big mission.
We totally agree with you, Chris. It's an absolutely stunning place. Where are the best walks you can go on?
Buttermere from Cockermouth is maybe a 10-minute drive into the valley. Super easy to get there, and you can be in a really beautiful place. Something no phone signal. You can only be contacted if you go into the pub and turn the Wi-Fi on.
Well, going into the pub,
yes.
Going into the pub is not such a bad idea, and we certainly want to venture into the pub and enjoy the local pubs what are in the area.
We have, I think, maybe 10 pubs, I think, in Cockermouth, and all of them are pretty good. I've sampled them, and definitely worth a look.
And when we do move here, we'll certainly give you a call for the great ventures.
Please do, yeah.
But before they can move here, we've got to find them somewhere to call home. Cue the return to our house hunt. We're heading to Stainton for our next viewing, located on the edge of the National Park, under 20 minutes drive from Keswick. The quaint village has a smattering of amenities, including a small shop with post office, a pub and a village hall. For bigger shopping needs, the historic town of Penrith is just 3 miles east. And on the edge of the village is this attractive detached barn conversion.
Well, here we are then.
It looks great, it's got character, it's got the stonework, the stone chimney. It just looks idyllic.
It's got a more modern feel than the previous one.
Well, that modern doesn't stop from the looks. You wait and see when we get inside. Follow me.
Great.
The original barn dates back to the 18th century. It was converted and extended in the 1970s to create the impressive home it is today.
So follow me down into the lounge.
More open plan conservatory.
Yep.
And whatever's round there as well.
You've got a little office space to the side there.
Magnificent. It's a lovely lounge, log burner, lovely garden outside, beautiful views of the field. This looks what we're after.
There's much higher ceilings. It just feels more spacious, doesn't it? You don't have to duck underneath any beams.
There's definitely no ducking required here, and the addition of the adjoining conservatory provides extra space, connecting the barn to the garden. It's decked with quarry tiles and has underfloor heating. On the other side of the lounge is the kitchen diner.
So that's a decent-sized kitchen. And obviously, it's got the views outside onto the fields. We didn't want a massive kitchen, so the size is okay.
Another nice room.
Yeah. Oh, good, because it's always that thing where you look at a property and you're thinking, oh, they're going to be happy with this.
Inside a house you can change the house, can't you? But the outside and the location, you can't change that.
No.
The property comes with 3 bedrooms, a large ground floor double with an ensuite bathroom and 2 good-sized doubles on the first floor. Both boast rural views and sandwich the family bathroom.
Look at that for a view. When you wake up in the morning.
Absolutely lovely. It's a stunning view. Looking at the garden, the fields.
And you can walk out onto the balcony and sit out there.
That would be lovely for a nice coffee in the morning once we've woken up.
The pretty garden is surrounded by fields. It's well looked after and has a choice of seating areas from where to enjoy the outlook. There's also a garage with electricity and plumbing.
Hey, the Wanderers return. And what about the outside space here?
The garden's lovely and it's all different features in the garden, and it's got the vegetable patches as well, ready-made.
But of course there's a price attached to this. What do you think that price might be?
I think the price for this is £595,000.
OK.
I think it's at the top of our budget, and I would say around £590,000.
OK, well, it's actually on the market for £600,000.
No, I mean, that seems like a fair price, actually.
This 18th century barn conversion is again on budget at £600,000. It has the character Helen and Ian are after, along with a large living space, an additional garden room, 3 double bedrooms, an attractive garden with views, and is located close to a quiet village.
It actually looks lovely. You can tell it's an old stone building, but it does have that modern look about it as well. The inside flows a lot more easily into all the different spaces.
It's something we've both been looking for. Yes, it's a contender for us.
The first leg of our Lake District house hunt for Helen and Ian has been a busy one. So before we call it a day, I'd like to find out where their heads are at.
Over the course of today, I've got quite a clear idea now of what's in your head. But how are you two feeling? You said this was what you wanted to do and now you're doing it.
Definitely feeling real now, and it's happening.
Yeah.
It feels exciting, and it's certainly something we're looking forward to.
And since deciding, right, OK, let's not just talk about moving to the Lake District, let's do it. How many properties have you looked at?
So I'd say we've probably physically looked at least 10 to 20, but online a lot more.
You've spent so long making other people your priorities, putting them first. It's about time you started worrying about yourselves and making each other your priority.
This is why it's just so exciting for us, and we sort of can't wait to get up here and start this next phase in our lives, really, can't we?
It's going to be special for us.
I'm so pleased we've ended on a high. How about we leave it here for today and pick it up again tomorrow?
Definitely.
Come on, great. Let's get back.
If a move to the Lake District is in your sights, these facts and figures could help you on your way. The average price of a detached house in the UK is a little under £459,000. In Cumberland, the figure is just over £267,000, and in neighbouring Westmoreland and Furness, the average price is around £378,000. So all in all, an address in this beautiful area could offer great value. The region's property market does feature a good selection of homes to suit most budgets. This attached chalet bungalow is available to locals with an established connection to the area, and is priced at £275,000. It has a living and dining room, plus 2 bedrooms, including one in the eaves with a study. There's a pretty garden, and the bungalow's elevated position allows for distant views of the fells. For double the price, how about a first-floor apartment in a former country house hotel? Now converted into 10 homes, it's Grade 2 listed and dates back to 1702. There's a large kitchen diner, an open-plan living room, both with views over the communal gardens and beyond. There are 2 spacious bedrooms, one presented as a twin and the other a double. Or if you just fancy a break in the area, you could get close to nature in this sustainable woodland cabin. It's self-contained, sleeps 2, has an outdoor pizza oven and creature comforts, including hot running water plus a wood-burning stove. Prices start at £125 per night.
Well, it was never in doubt that the Lake District is the place for Helen and Ian. I think we've got 1 property in the bag, but it's not over yet. Still got the mystery house.
We've got another 2 houses lined up to see today, and the first of those is in the village of Great Strickland, just outside the National Park, around half an hour's drive from Keswick. This is a rural spot, with Penrith and all the facilities around 10 minutes away by road. But locals can stay put if they fancy a pint or a bite to eat, as the village has its own pub. Built in 1820, it was originally a farm, but now offers somewhere cosy to stop for refreshment. And it's just a short amble from the front door of our next property. Dating back to the 18th century, it's this old farmhouse in the heart of the village.
When I woke up this morning, I thought to myself, what better way to start the day than a fantastic character property?
Looks like dating back from 1746.
Yeah.
So a nice old property.
Big, old, character-style cottage. First impressions, very, very nice.
It is listed, but I tell you what, those early owners really had a good brain on them when it comes to property, because they put an extension on it in 1761. Right ahead of the curve there, weren't they? They were really thinking it through. Come on, let's cross over and go and have a look.
Okay, thanks.
This semi-detached period property actually dates back to 1700 and is Grade 2 listed.
When you talk about a traditional kitchen with the sort of age of the property, this is what you get.
My word, Steve, this has got some character, hasn't it? The range over there where you do all your cooking, the stone floor, the thick walls, and even look at the old door. Yeah. It looks magnificent.
It's a proper sort of old country style kitchen. I'm just wondering, is it a little bit on the small side, and is this the dining area or is there somewhere else? And you sort of think where various appliances might fit in or not.
I will put you out your misery. There is a very large utility room to the back of the property.
Helen need not worry, because there are also 2 good-sized reception rooms. The larger of the 2, the sitting room, couldn't be more characterful.
Lovely. Traditional wooden beams, original floor.
This floor, although it's the original stone, it's been lifted. They've got underfloor heating through here and through in the dining room as well.
To me, it feels like I'm in some sort of stately home or something. That's what it feels like. The beams are lovely, aren't they? And the log burner and the floors.
Look how unsquare that door is.
It's certainly got the type of character in a house we're looking to move into.
Poke your nose through there and see what you think about that as a dining room.
So this is a really quaint old room, actually.
Yeah, very, very traditional.
The tradition doesn't stop there. Even the study has a feature window and beams. The quirks continue up in the sleeping quarters, where the family bathroom has a fireplace and serves no fewer than 4 distinctive bedrooms. There's a cosy single, a double next door, and another charming double complete with a window seat and shutters. Finally, the principal bedroom that comes with an ensuite shower room.
Nice high ceilings, lovely oak beams, nice wooden floor, fireplace. Not so much storage for us.
Or for me.
Or for you and your clothes.
I'm sitting here at the bottom of the stairs listening to them look around up there. And as much as they appreciate and admire the character of the property, my house hunting senses are telling me that they're not going to be coming back down and saying it's the one for them.
But you never know, and there's still outside to see. A pretty lawn garden could happily provide a home for Ian's bees. Or the fruit orchard, of course. Seating areas include a paved patio, and there's also a detached bothy. Once a pigsty, it's now a flexible annex. A gravelled patch provides plenty of parking.
So how was it upstairs?
It's lovely actually, and the bedroom spaces, a little bit on the small side, but there are 4 bedrooms, which is more than we were looking for.
You understand the property, you now understand the outside space. What do you think the property's on the market for?
I would estimate somewhere in the region of £550,000.
Okay.
My guess would be on this property, £525,000.
Okay, well, 2 good guesses, but you're well over. You'll be surprised to hear that it's on the market with a guide price of £475,000. I must say, I don't feel like it's got your hearts.
I think our heart is still with property number 2 at the moment, yeah.
This 17th century Grade 2 listed farmhouse's guide price of £475,000 comes in way below their budget. Chocked full of period features, there's also a country kitchen, 2 reception rooms, 4 bedrooms, a well-kept garden with a detached outbuilding, and is located in the heart of a friendly community.
The property looked like a beautiful period cottage. Did look a lot bigger than what we were expecting as well. Just a little bit concerned about how the actual room sizes would work for us. I think in particular the kitchen.
My initial thoughts on the inside of the building, it's got great character, the wooden floors, the stone floors, even the old doors hung at an angle, which just shows the character of the building.
Our final appointment on our search is the Mystery House. Located in the small village of Tyrrell, about a half-hour drive from Keswick. Just a mile away is the village of Askham within the park itself, and on the banks of the River Lowther. The quiet lanes are lined with pretty cottages, and there's a shop, a village hall, a choice of pubs, and even a Michelin-starred restaurant in the Grade 1 listed Askham Hall. The village is well connected, with Penrith just over a 15-minute bus ride away. Now, although Helen and Ian know the lakes like the back of their hands, we've managed to find somewhere they haven't visited, so I thought I'd introduce them to this area before we head to our mystery house.
It's gorgeous.
We've not been this neck of the woods at all, Steve. We may have been to the Lake District on many occasions, but we haven't been here.
Somewhere new! Oh, I love it! And we're just on the edge of the Lowther estate, and of course that comes with all of those activities like cycling, walking, hiking. Are you avid cyclists? Do you cycle very much?
Yeah, we do a lot of cycling, Steve. We like getting out in the sun, and we do a bit of cycling along the canal towpaths and in the countryside, but we also cycle to the local pub, so if we've got a couple of local pubs round here, that's even better.
So how would you feel if I was to tell you that the Mystery House is around 10 minutes cycle from here?
Brilliant.
Yeah?
Absolutely, yeah, brilliant.
Sounds absolutely fantastic.
Well, I tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get the place opened up and get it all ready for you. Why don't you have a little stroll around Askham, get yourself a little bit more familiar with the place, and it gives you more of an idea of your surroundings when I show you the Mystery House.
Sounds like a plan, Steve.
I'll catch up with you shortly.
See you soon.
So while I leave them to get to know this gorgeous village, I'm making the car journey of a little over 5 minutes to this rather fetching stone and timber-clad home.
So here we are then, the Mystery House. Now, what makes this different from the other properties I've shown them? Well, for starters, it's brand new. Everything else has been over 200 years old. And it's super efficient with an energy rating of B. It's got underfloor heating, an air source heat pump, and it's insulated to the nines. All you need to do is put a couple of solar panels on the roof, you've got yourself an A.
I am super impressed with this super efficient home, and I hope Ian and Helen will be too. Let's find out. Hey, you two.
Hey, Steve.
How'd you find the village?
Lovely. Absolutely stunningly beautiful.
It really is something special, isn't it?
It is.
But that's enough about outside. Look at this for something a little bit different.
Looks great.
I suspected for the Mystery House you'd come up with something modern.
It's quite different from anything else you've seen so far this week, isn't it?
It is.
It's already got the car charger ready to go. It shows you just how modern this property is. Come with me.
This attached property may look like a barn conversion, but it was built in 2021, so comes with all the mod cons. It's impressive, both outside and in.
So we come through to what I think is, well, I know is the most modern kitchen diner I've shown you this week, that's for sure.
It does look nice. Little bit compact. If this is a kitchen, diner, stroke lounge.
I do like the kitchen, actually. I like the colour of the kitchen, the sparkly tops. It is nice with the views that go out there. And again, I'm wondering, is this the space that's the kitchen, diner, lounge area?
This is the only reception room. Problem is you've been spoilt with the other three properties. It's reception room after reception room, reception room.
You can see the quality of what they've done here.
Yeah. Let me take you through to the bedroom. So you've got a bedroom downstairs and then a bedroom upstairs. Look at the amount of light coming through those windows. And again, it's a huge contrast to the older properties that I've shown you with their much smaller square windows.
Nice to wake up to that in the morning once the curtains are opened.
Do like those windows that you can just walk out onto the garden, can't you?
Yeah.
This bedroom also has an ensuite bathroom, with an additional door giving access from the hallway. The second bedroom is up in the eaves, with a bathroom across the landing.
It's bigger than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
The only thing that I'm thinking is that the bedroom is overlooked by the properties to the side there. But, I mean, it's a lovely big space.
Yeah, it's a nice big room, plenty of light coming in.
Outside, the long garden enjoys views of the countryside beyond, and it has a spot ready to welcome a pond. The house also has dedicated parking for 2 cars.
And we've got to that point now where we've got to put a price on this super eco house.
Well, because it's a bit smaller than the other properties, I'd have a guess at maybe £500,000.
OK.
Given how modern it is and eco-friendly, I'm going to go slightly higher than that, and I'm going to say £510,000.
OK, well, it's actually got a guide price of £450,000.
Very surprising that it's come in at £450,000, Steve.
Well, that surprising guide price means that if Helen and Ian did buy this eco-friendly house, they could have a good chunk of money left in the kitty. Along with the eco-friendly credentials, it has a modern kitchen cum diner cum living space, 2 double bedrooms, 2 bathrooms and a garden with a view.
My first impression of the Mystery House was the fact that it was modern, it was new, it was nice, but it was very compact and close to the other local buildings here.
It's done to a really high spec. Kitchen, really nice and modern, but probably just a little bit too small for what we need.
we've shown Ian and Helen a delightful selection of properties. Not one, but two beautiful barn conversions, a Grade 2 listed farmhouse and our eco-friendly new build mystery house. But only one can become their new home.
How have you found everything these last few days?
You've taken us this week on a very, very exciting journey. We've seen some lovely houses, but the standout thing for Helen and I is where you've taken us. You've taken us to places we've not been before.
It's been a real sort of eye-opener with all the houses and the locations that you've shown us. We loved the Stainton property. I think the fact that it was a barn conversion, which is the sort of period type of property that we're looking for, but it also had like the modern features in it as well, didn't it? So it didn't feel cramped, it didn't feel small.
It had really been done to a higher standard, hadn't it?
It had nice clean lines, it was well built, it was well lit, it had the character features that we want, a lovely community, and the community for Helen and I is as important as the house we move into, because we want to become a part of that.
It was exactly what we were looking for in that lovely village of Stainton. But once you took us to the location where the mystery property was and we saw Askham, I mean, it trumped it, and that's where our hearts are in Askham, isn't it?
I did not see that coming.
The mystery house wasn't quite right for us, but the area was. So we're going to go there today, we're going to speak to people, we're going to knock on doors of local residents, and we're going to have a wander around that area, because that's a little gem you found us.
The idea that I've had the opportunity to maybe introduce you to a property that could be your future and a place that could be your future is something that I'm really proud of, and I wish you all the very best in your future endeavours.
Thanks, Steve. I mean, we're just so grateful for what you've shown us, and now we do know where we can concentrate a search on that we've not looked before.
The pleasure is all mine.
The thing I love about this job isn't just introducing people to new properties, but to new places as well. And this week, I've managed to do both. So whether it's a barn conversion in Stainton or a completely new house in newly found Askham, I'm going to be happy. Either way, I just want the move to the Lake District that Ian and Helen truly deserve to go as well as possible. I can't wait to find out. Join us again next time for another Escape to the Country. If you would like to escape to the country in England, Northern Ireland, Scotland or Wales and need our help, why not apply online at bbc.co.uk/take part.